the same presentation that used to take me 90 minutes to, this was my whole appointment, right? Was this presentation. I now present in home in 5 to 10 minutes. Like literally my presentation, we cover how it works and everything in 5 to 10 minutes. And people do it because of what we talked about in this last video. Our discovery, 80% of the appointment is discovery, understanding their situation, what they want to do about their situation, how they feel about it, how they want to change it, how they feel about solar, what they like about solar, what they don't like. After all that's understood, I can present my solution in 5 to 10 minutes. And because they told me exactly what they wanted, right here, in these last videos, we went over it. They told me exactly what they wanted. And since I know exactly what they want, I can frame my solution in a way that it's what they said they wanted. And so why would they not do it? Now, this is how we do it. So I start with a problem recap, which the reason for this, you see the diamonds. Why do jewelers put diamonds on a black felt backdrop? It's because the contrast brings out the shine of the diamond. And the diamond just looks so much more brilliant when it's contrasted with black as opposed to whatever light, white, whatever's behind it. It's deliberate to contrast the light of the diamond with the dark of the backdrop. Now, your solution is a diamond, and you need to make sure that you're always, anytime you talk about your solution and the good of it, you're always qualifying it with neutral language and also relating and contrasting it with their current situation with Edison. I've seen some people, they'll draw like a T chart and they do the utility company on one side, so on the other. However you do it, you just need to make sure you always are, anytime you say something about your solution, you bring it back to and contrast it with the problem. How do I explain this to people? This is it. I literally draw this right here on their paper. Usually I'll draw the tiers, and I draw this during the situation phase of our discussion because this is the situation. And then I reference this when we're talking about pricing and the solution. But these are their tiers on their bill, literally 35 cents to 70 cents plus. It's literally right there in front of them. Like we have their bill up and I write out, I say, look, right now you're charged based on what time of day it is, how much power you use, you're on the tiers, time of use, whatever it is. The way that this solar would work, that has to be applied for and approved of, but they will give you a flat rate for power. It's less than tier one. Tier one's 35 cents. It's less than that. How much less? I don't know. We'll have to look at your roof and the satellite image and how much power you use, how much you want, the different battery setups. But you have a flat rate. You don't have to guess what your power is going to be. Now, sometimes I give them an option for an escalator. Sometimes I don't, depending on the vibe that I get. And what I found out, you find out during discovery, dude, if that's an issue for them or not. But I will say Edison, right? We just went through your situation. Edison's gone up 10 to 15%, 20% in a single year. They've doubled our rates in 5 years. Here, they give you a flat rate and it's fixed. It's not affected by inflation. It either has a small percentage increase or it never goes up. And depending on how you feel about that, it's if we do one that never goes up, it's a little closer to tier one. It's not tier one, but it's closer. Or we do one that's way less than tier one. Like you save a ton of money instantly, and then it just goes up a small amount to keep up with inflation and maintain some value of the dollar. This right here, right? I draw this Edison Solar. Now, in that, I say, so look, I give them more details about how it works. We fund the whole project. You don't pay anything. $0 out of pocket. You pay nothing to start. The panels, they go up on your roof, batteries, home battery backup. And Edison, they stop charging you minimally. This is where I'll usually talk about net metering and NEM3. And that will be the next video. We'll do that in the future because that's a whole discussion on how to explain NEM3 to a customer. But we'll talk about net metering and I'll say, look, you're going to cancel 90 to 95% of your Edison bill, depending on how you use your power and how we size the system, how much extra power we produce. We fund it. You pay $0. I show them the design. We build a design. Now, look, this is going to be your rate. We can get your rate to 20 something cents, whatever it is, based on your power usage. Now, that's a satellite image, right? Like, don't hold me to it because they have to come out, they'll inspect the roof, they'll look under your tiles, they'll look at your paper, your plywood. But assuming that like real life is like the satellite image is accurate, then your rate would go down, it'd stay fixed. But like I said, it has to be applied for and approved of, and they don't fund every project. Now, we monitor it, we maintain it. If anything happens, we cover it. You got to remember, this is an agreement for power. You're not buying panels, you're not financing solar equipment, you're buying electricity, which means If the solar company, doesn't produce electricity on your roof for you to buy, they give you your money back. It's a guarantee because the agreement is for power. If you went to the bank and took out a loan and financed it, is the bank going to give you your money back if your solar doesn't work? If you finance a car and it breaks down, does the bank? No, like you're in debt with the bank. But if you do a solar service, solar as a service with a servicing company, they guarantee you electricity, and that's all outlined in the agreement. So panel replacements, battery replacements throughout the agreement, all covered. After I explain the design, services, pricing, I know what concerns people have, dude. Like moving, their roof, it's too good to be true. That's pretty much the main ones I hit. If you have other ones, make sure you hit them. But moving, look, I wouldn't want you to do this unless you thought it was so sweet that anyone buying your house would be silly if they didn't want it. Like, seriously, compare. You got to remember, when someone's buying a house, they are looking at your neighbor's house and that neighbor's house. And most houses in California, a lot of them have solar, and very few of them have cash paid off solar because, like we talked about in the last video, the return on investment is the return takes 10 to 12, 15 years. Like, come on. You could do so many better things with 20, 30, 40, $50,000. So everyone has a solar payment or an Edison payment. Let's make sure that your payment is something that when people look at it, they're like, dude, this is legit. Like, I want this. And you can show them that it's legit. Your roof. Look, they're picky. They don't fund every project. That's why they're going to come and look. If your roof has issues, they're not going to fund it. Like, if you need a new roof, they'll tell us. Because if there is any issues, if anything happens, they have to cover it. They have to fix it. And look, and I know you're probably thinking like, oh, like, how are you going to give me free solar? Like, it's too good to be true. It's not free, right? Are you thinking that? Yeah. Okay. Look, it's not free. You're still paying for electricity. The difference is we can produce power at a lower rate than Edison and still be profitable. The solar company still makes money. They don't make money day one. They're investing in this infrastructure. But the same way when you moved into your house, did Edison make you pay for that power pole so that you could get electricity? No, Edison's in the business of selling power, not equipment. And that's exactly what we do. We don't sell equipment. We sell power. That's why we fund it. We fund the whole project. You don't worry about, you're not in debt. And then you just buy your power at a lower rate. Does that make sense? How the company, they still make money and they can save you money at the same time because Edison's a monopoly and they just charge us whatever they want, whenever they want. They raise our rates. They don't even ask our permission. Are you okay with that? No? Okay, well, then we're going to move into committing questions, which is the next one, and you will see it there. Peace.